Hello and welcome to this episode of the Talent Optimization Minute. My name is Matt Pepsel. Today I'm going to give a talk called I'm Mature, which is funny because it looks like immature, but it's not. This is the book called On Grand Strategy. I've talked about it before. It's one of my absolute favorites of all time by John Lewis Gaddis, and it really talks about this reality, this nature of strategy. He describes grand strategy as the alignment of potentially unlimited aspirations with necessarily limited capabilities. Aspirations and capabilities. When I talk to executives of all shapes and sizes companies, we talk a lot about aspirations. What do we hope for in the future? We talk about transformation these days more than ever. We talk about all these great things that we want to have happen in the next 3 to 5 years, but we neglect many times the capabilities of what it's going to take to get there. When those things are out of alignment, all of a sudden it puts risk to realizing those aspirations, but it also creates a lot of frustration along the way. So I want to share with you a framework today, which is pretty simple, which is a way of looking at organizations. Again, just whatever industry or it doesn't matter how large an organization is, I've found that capabilities really increase in line with the overall maturity the organization has when it comes to its people practices. This is clearly the domain of talent optimization. So you can think of it as talent optimization practices. And in the beginning, when talent optimization may not even be a concept at all, then you're going to see an organization in a zero state, what I call a struggle. They're going to struggle to do even the most basic things without the levels of performance and employee experience and engagement that they might like. When you move on and they actually start to introduce talent optimization practices, my biggest recommendation is to launch it in one small part of the business. Could be just the executive team, could be a specific department or function. Different situations are going to make a recommendation as to where to start, but launching and containing some of the implementation complexity is a great idea. So this launch phase, now all of a sudden you see a little bit more maturity in the organization, at least in some pocket of it, and the capabilities to execute against a strategy go up commensurately. Once we start to establish that initial base, then we can expand that out. And maybe, let's say we started in sales, now we can bridge over to marketing, to product, whatever it might be. Or if we start at the executive level, we can go a level down to the what we call ELT +1, executive leadership team +1 level down. Now we're expanding and getting more mature as well in terms of the reach, as well as the nature of the practices. We can go a little deeper because now we've got a foundation from which we can build. Scaling that out, though, to the rest of the organization takes a very specific way of getting it into the everyday practices of the business, infusing them with talent optimization. This could be a combination of technology and process and all the different types of social infrastructure as well. So there's an entire set of disciplines around how do we scale talent optimization organizations. And finally, how do we optimize? How do we go deep and make sure that we're fully entrenched in the business, how we execute it through people practices, highest possible levels of performance and employee experience. This is the ideal state. And when the maturity gets to be at its peak, the capabilities are also at its peak. And now we're bringing them in alignment with those grand aspirations that we might have. So the talent optimization framework tells us exactly what leaders must do at every level of the organization, but it's the maturity at which we introduce these practices that are going to dictate our long-term strategic outcomes and performance along the way, as well as the experience and the well-being of the employees, the workers who are going to make it a reality for us. That's it for today. Thanks so much as always. If you have any questions on this framework or anything at all related to talent optimization, I would love to hear from you. LinkedIn is the best way to get hold of me. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.